Hello, my favorite people. Happy Thursday. Happy day 4 of online learning. Do you guys miss school yet, or are you just enjoying your long vacation? I miss you guys for sure. I was so excited to be back in the classroom with you, and then this happens. But at least we get to read books together, even if it is on YouTube. So yesterday we learned about Bob. You guys gave some great character traits. Speedy was one of my favorite ones because it mentioned that a couple times. And you could just kind of picture him going through the mall picking up scraps, right? Talked about how he's tiny, sneaky, wild. He was a stray, right? Do you remember what that means? That he didn't have a home. And then wiry. I don't think we talked about what that meant yesterday, but if you think of wires, like in our classroom or at home, wires, that's what his fur is like. It's stringy, it's wiry. He's not necessarily the cutest dog, or what you would assume is the cutest dog, right? His fur is kind of messed up because he was a stray, right? So I'm really excited. We've got to know a lot of our main characters, right? Stella and Bob are both Ivan's best friends. We also learned about Julia a little bit yesterday, which is the human friend he has, right? We're still waiting on meeting this secret character that I can't wait for. But today, before we get started, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I want you to all think, what's a memory? We all have memories, right? So something we remember, it's in our brain, we've stored it. You could have memories from earlier in your childhood. Maybe you created a fun memory yesterday. Maybe you made pancakes at home yesterday, and now that's a memory in your brain. Maybe the first day of 3rd grade, you have a memory of that. Maybe Miss Duncan was doing something goofy, which is probably true, right? Maybe I was dancing. I do that a lot. You have some sort of memory, so close your eyes and think about what is your favorite memory that you have from when you were born all the way up until this morning. What's your favorite memory? You have it in your head. I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil. If you don't have a pencil at home, get a crayon or a highlighter or a pen or something. And I want you to write down your favorite memory that you have before we were all stuck inside. Go ahead and pause the video and write down your favorite memory ever, and then come back. Okay. Now we're gonna start reading again. I have to check what page we're gonna read to. I almost forgot already. Okay. We're on page 51 and we're gonna read to page 67 today. If you're using the online version of this book, the pages are a little bit different. So you'll just kind of have to follow along. I want you to be thinking about memories, about your own memory, about memories in general, about why memories are fun, why they're important, while we're reading this part, because we're gonna read a little bit about memories. And in the first part of the book that we've read, it talked a little bit about memories, right? Ivan doesn't have a very good memory, he says, and Stella does have a really good memory. So we're gonna kind of tap into that a little bit more today, and then there will be an activity afterwards having to do with memory. So just keep memories in your brain as you're listening to us read today. Or listening to me read, I should say. This section is called Not Sleepy. Stella, I say after Julia and her father go home, I can't sleep. Of course you can, she says. You are the king of sleepers. Shh, Bob says from his perch on my belly. I'm dreaming about chili fries. Me too, Bob. Just kidding, we didn't say that in the book. Miss Duncan is dreaming about chili fries. I'm tired, I say, but I'm not sleepy. What are you tired of? Stella asks. I think for a while. It's hard to put into words. Gorillas are not complainers. We're dreamers, poets, philosophers, nap takers. I don't know exactly. I kick at my tire swing. I think I may be a little tired of my domain. That's because it's a cage, Bob tells me. Bob is not always tactful. I know, Stella says, it's a very small domain. And you're a very big gorilla, Bob adds. Stella, I ask. Yes. I noticed you were limping more than usual today. Is your leg bothering you? Just a little, Stella answers. I sigh. Bob resettles. His ears flick. He drools a bit, but I don't mind. I'm used to it. Try eating something, Stella says. That always makes you happy. I eat an old brown carrot. It doesn't help, but I don't tell Stella. She needs to sleep. You could try remembering a good day, Stella suggests. That's what I do when I can't sleep. Stella remembers every moment since she was born. Every scent, every sunset, every slight, every victory. You know I can't remember much, I say. There's a difference, Stella says gently, between can't remember and won't remember. That's true, I admit. Not remembering can be difficult, but I've had a lot of time to work on it. Memories are precious, Stella adds. They tell us who we are. Try remembering all your keepers. You always liked Carl, the one with the harmonica. Carl, yes. I remember how he gave me a coconut when I was still a juvenile. It took me all day to open it. I tried to recall other keepers I have known, the humans who cleaned my domain and prepared my food and sometimes kept me company. There was Juan, who poured Pepsis into my waiting mouth, and Katrina, who used to poke me with a broom when I was sleeping, and Ellen, who sang, "How much is that monkey in the window?" with a sad smile while she scrubbed my water bowl. There was Gerald, who once brought me a box of fat, sweet strawberries. Gerald was my favorite keeper. I haven't had a real keeper in a long time. Mac says he doesn't have the money to pay for an 8th babysitter. These days, George cleans my cage and Mac is the one who feeds me. When I think about all the people who have taken care of me, mostly it's Mac I recall, day in, day out, year after year after year. Mac who bought me and raised me and says I'm no longer cute, as if a silverback could ever be cute. Moonlight falls on the frozen carousel. I sit on the silent popcorn stand on the stall of leather belts that smell like long-gone cows. The heavy work of Stella's breathing sounds like the wind in the trees, and I wait for sleep to find me. Matt gives me a new black crayon and a fresh pile of paper. It's time to work again. I smell the crayon, roll it in my hands, press the sharp point against my palm. There's nothing I love more than a new crayon. I search my domain for something to draw. What is black? An old banana peel would work, but I've eaten them all. Not tagged as brown. My little pool is blue. The yogurt raisin I'm saving for this afternoon is white, at least on the outside. Something moves in the corner. I have a visitor. A shiny beetle has stopped by. Bugs often wander through my domain on their way to somewhere else. Hello, beetle, I say. He freezes, silent. Bugs never want to chat. The beetle's an attractive bug with a body like a glossy nut. He's black as a starless night. That's it. I'll draw him. It's hard making a picture of something new. I don't get the chance that often, but I try. I look at the beetle, who's being kind enough not to move, then back at my paper. I draw his body, his legs, his little antenna, his sour expression. I'm lucky. The beetle stays all day. Usually, bugs don't linger when they visit. I'm beginning to wonder if he's feeling all right. Bob, who's been known to munch on bugs from time to time, offers to eat him. I tell Bob that won't be necessary. I'm just finishing my last picture when Mac returns. George and Julia are with him. Mac enters my domain and picks up a drawing. What the heck is this, he asks. Beats me what Ivan thinks he's drawing. This is a picture of nothing. A big black nothing. Julia's standing outside my domain. Can I see, she asks. Mac holds my picture up to the window. Julia tilts her head, squeezes one eye shut, then she opens her eye and scans my domain. I know, she exclaims. It's a beetle. See that beetle over there by Ivan's pool? Man, I just sprayed this place for bugs. Mac walks over to the beetle and lifts his foot. Before Mac can stomp, the beetle skitters away, disappearing through a crack in the wall. Mac turns back to my drawings. So you figure this is a beetle, huh? If you say so, kid. Oh, that's a beetle for sure, Julia says, smiling at me. I know a beetle when I can see one. It's nice, I think, having a fellow artist around. Stella is the first to notice the change, but soon we all feel it. A new animal is coming to the Big Top Mall. How do we know this? Because we listen, we watch, and most of all, we sniff the air. Humans always smell odd when change is in the air, like rotten meat with a hint of papaya. Bob fears our new neighbor will be a giant cat with slitted eyes and a coiled tail. But Stella says a truck will arrive this afternoon carrying a baby elephant. How do you know, I ask. I sample the air, but all I smell is caramel corn. I love caramel corn. I can hear her, Stella says. She's crying for her mother. I listen. I hear the cars charging past. I hear the snore of the sun bears in their wire domain. But I don't hear any elephants. You're just hoping, I say. Stella closes her eyes. No, she says softly. Not hoping. Not at all. My TV is off, so while we wait for the new neighbor, I ask Stella to tell us a story. Stella rubs her right foot against the wall. Her foot is swollen again, an ugly deep red. If you're not feeling well, Stella, I say, you could take a nap and tell us a story later. I'm fine, she says, and carefully she shifts her weight. Tell us the Jambo story, I say. It's a favorite of mine, but I don't think Bob has ever heard it. Because she remembers everything, Stella knows many stories. I like colorful tales with black beginnings, stormy middles, and cloudless blue sky endings, but any story will do. I'm not in a position to be picky. Once upon a time, Stella begins, there was a human boy. He was visiting a gorilla family at a place called a zoo. What's a zoo? Bob asks. He's a street smart dog, but there's much he hasn't seen. A good zoo, Stella says, is a large domain, a wild cage, a safe place to be. It has room to roam and humans who don't hurt. She pauses, considering her words. A good zoo is how humans make amends. Stella moves a bit, groaning softly. The boy stood on a wall, she continues, watching, pointing, but he lost his balance and he fell into the wild cage. Humans are clumsy, I interrupt. If only they would knuckle walk, they wouldn't topple so often. Stella nods. A good point, Ivan. In any case, the boy lay in a motionless heap while the humans gasped and cried. The silverback, whose name was Jambo, examined the boy, as was his duty, while his troop watched from a safe distance. Jambo stroked the child gently. He smelled the boy's pain and then he stood watch. When the boy awoke, his humans cried out, "Stay still, don't move," because they were certain. Humans are always certain about certain things, that Jambo would crush the boy's life from him. The boy moaned. The crowd waited, hushed, expecting the worst. Jambo led his troop away. Men came down on ropes and whisked the child to waiting arms. Was the boy all right? Bob asks. He wasn't hurt, Stella says, although I wouldn't be surprised if his parents hugged him many times that night in between their scoldings. Bob, who has been chewing on his tail, pauses, tilting his head. Is that a true story? I always tell the truth, Stella replies, although sometimes I confuse the facts. So we've got 2 worksheets. One is going to be about Ivan's memories. Remember, he doesn't have the best memory compared to Stella. There's another sheet for Stella's memories. It just talks about stuff. So here's the first one is, unlike Ivan, Stella remembers everything. Describe Stella's life in your own words. On page 62, Stella says she is not at all hoping that the new animal is a baby elephant. Why do you think she would say this? So if you are a girl in our class, I want you to do Stella's memories. If you're a boy in our class, you're going to do Ivan's memories. Ivan says that he can't remember much. Stella says that there's a difference between can't remember and won't remember. Reread Stella and Ivan's conversation on page 53. Why might Ivan have worked so hard on not remembering his memories? Based on the keepers Ivan remembers, how would you describe his time in his domain? Has he had a good life? Why or why not? This says include text evidence to support your opinion, which you guys should always be doing, right? I'm gonna put both of these on the Google Classroom. There is an online book so you guys can reread this section. I'll post what the pages are on the online book for you. But remember, you can always pause, rewind, rewatch this YouTube video, which is why it's so nice that it's on YouTube for you. If you guys have any questions, you can message me on Dojo. These will both be on the Google Classroom, and there will be a spot that you can submit it on there too. Okay, I hope you guys have a great Thursday. I hope you're having so much fun at home with your family, and I will see you guys tomorrow.